Hi, everybody.
Hola, señorita.
Woo! It is the restored couple, and I have the privilege to talk to Miss Diona Clark today. I am excited.
Yes.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. We are, if you haven't noticed so far, we actually haven't announced it, but the restored couple is interviewing faith-filled, dope influencers here in Columbus, Ohio. And I definitely wanted to talk to this young lady right here, this chica, because she is one of them. So I am very happy to be talking to her today.
Yes. Yes.
So Diona, let's chat. You are from Dayton?
Yes, I'm originally from Dayton, Ohio, born and raised.
Okay.
Yes, so big props to Dayton.
So is your family still there? Tell me about that.
So let's see, my dad's side of the family, they're mainly still in Dayton. My mom's side of the family is too, but me and my sisters, I have 3 sisters. We're here in Columbus, and my mom, she's in Indianapolis. Their job gave them the option to either do Columbus or Indianapolis. So my sisters, they took the Columbus route. My mom took the Indianapolis route.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you still visit Dayton? You still have family, like cousins and everything?
Yeah, I go back to Dayton, not as often as I should, but whenever there's a birthday party or some type of special event, or just to visit my one uncle, I go back home.
That's good.
Yeah.
You got affinity towards Dayton.
Yes.
Dayton's where
yes.
you went to like high school, everything all the way up?
Yep, elementary, high school, and all that. And then I sprouted, went to college, went back to Dayton. Then I said it's time to kind of uproot and find some plant roots somewhere else.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. And I also noticed that you went to Howard University.
I did. I went to the real HU, as we say at Hampton University. They think that they're the real HU, but really it's Howard. The Mecca.
Got it.
Yeah, had a fun experience there.
I can imagine.
Experience the black experience. To me, I know some people are against HBCUs.
Really?
Yeah, they are. My experience, I mean, you have the black experience, good and bad.
Right.
But, I take the good and the bad with it. And
Yeah.
I'm definitely glad I made the decision to go to Howard University. The different cultures, the different food, even the educational experience with the professors and deans, just being there and having like a community-like type of campus. It was the bomb.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Would you recommend like other people to for their kids to go there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Howard University, yeah, we gotta support that too.
Okay. Very good. Okay. So that's good. So let's see. What prompted you to write your first book? Now, this isn't the first one.
No.
I have one of them.
That's not. Actually, now it's a different cover. So,
okay.
So rework something.
Good.
But, what prompted me to write my first book was going through a domestic violence experience and coming out of that and just knowing what I wanted as a woman. But what ended up happening was I couldn't finish that book because God was saying that at the time I was writing about a woman that I wanted to become. So I had to put it on hold. And even in the midst of putting it on hold, I mean, literally, it was ready to print. I came in contact with a publicist by the name of Carlos Scott, and I told him my story, and I told him I had a book ready to be published. He was like, nah, nobody's ready for that book. You need to tell the people where you come from. And I'm like, I came from Dayton. He was like, no, you need to tell them where you come from and your experience. Right. So you need to go back and write a book about your story. And that's what I did, and that's how Survival is Victory evolved.
Survival. So this is the book that we're talking about.
Yes.
So I don't want to give too much because I want people to go get the book. But can you tell me a little bit of a nutshell about your experience in this book?
Yes. So this book talks about me being involved with a man that was emotionally, verbally, mentally, financially abusive.
Financially
abusive. And then it ended when I decided to leave him. It ended with him shooting me twice at point blank range, and then turning the gun on himself and shooting himself in the head. I mean, he's still living to this day.
He is still living.
Yeah, he is still living. So literally, that's an act of God there.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I also talk about...
Because your story would have ended up being like my story. Being incarcerated, maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
My mom, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah, my mother was just like, I don't know about this one. If he went to kill, I'm going to do it too.
Right.
So, we thank God for protection
yes.
because, keep my mom back there.
Yes.
So, but yeah, This book is, I call it a tool because I give different, I give information on, how to how to remove yourself from a domestic violence situation if you find yourself in one. I think that this book was written so that, any socioeconomic person, in any socioeconomic status can read this book and be able to understand what's being said. And my thought too was, even if this book got in the hands of survivors who, not all of them, but some of them, their reading may not be up to par, but they'll be able to open this book up and be able to understand some of the things that are said, so that they will either remove themselves out of that situation or know how to sustain, remove themselves out of the situation, or know how not to get themselves in that situation. Excuse me.
So how long was it before you wrote this book? Like, how many years of difference was there?
Oh, wow. So,
because it takes a lot of strength to put this together.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's I'm proud of you about that.
Yeah, this was a healing. This was actually part of my healing. And I truly believe, I believe that, domestic violence is you have to peel the layers. It's not an instant healing. It's not going to happen overnight. You constantly have to peel back the layers. And so this was one big thing that helped me to heal. But I think, because I started writing this book and I did shut this book down.
Really?
I did. I shut this book down. I did. And then I started writing that other one and I just flowed through it. Mm-hmm. But this book has been with me. It took me, maybe like 7 years.
Okay.
It took me 7 years.
Wow.
It took me about 7 years. Yeah, a while. Because I had to heal. And it also opened up some wounds that, I didn't want to.
Sure.
Open up.
Sure.
Mentally, not physical,
right.
But it was more mental and emotional. So in writing this, there was a lot of counseling that I myself went through to ensure that the words that were being written on those pages were not being filtered from a scarred Diona, but more so a healed Diona.
Wow, that's good. That's deep. That's amazing, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So it just didn't flow, come right out and. Because this takes a lot of courage and a lot of prayers, I'm sure, and a lot of tears. But it's a labor of love right there, and it's helped so many people.
Absolutely. The people that read this, they're like, I can't put this book down. It's helping me out so much. Or, I see, my friend in this book, and now I know what to do. Or I didn't think like that about domestic violence. And, and it's opened up my eyes about certain views and perspectives. And so this definitely, like I said, it's a tool. To be able to apply to either yourself, your situation, or somebody that you may know. Wow. It's an educational tool.
My goodness. So so from that, it went to the organization, Live Out Loud Enterprises?
Yes. So my baby was born out of my trial. Mm-hmm. One day, I don't know, I was just, going through the motion of, I want to do something, for domestic violence, but I don't know exactly what to do. I want to speak on it, but how do I start? And I was sitting at the table with my sister, and I was like, I want a business, I want to do some type of organization to help bring awareness of domestic violence. And we came up with the name Live Out Loud. And with that, what I was doing was I was a Zumba instructor, and so
Zumba instructor.
So with doing Zumba, it broke my fear of being in front of people because I love to dance. And so,
do you still love to dance?
I love to dance. I love to dance. So, and being in front of others pushed me to continue to stay in front of people. But not only that, I wanted my class to be different because I found that for myself, Zumba was healing when I did it as a student. So I wanted that to also be a reflection of the students that I taught in my class. And so after every class, I would do like 1 minute of empowerment, just give them some encouragement words. Yeah, and it just came around. People were changing like eating habits or changing something different about their life, relationships, or going back to school, being a better parent. I was like, oh wow, this is really working. And so I took that piece and took it with Live Out Loud. I added with Live Out Loud, and so that's how we do the speaking. And go to different schools and churches and things like that.
So you, talking to other women that experience through domestic violence, how hard is that? I mean, how it's just for somebody that's never been through it, it's heart-wrenching anyways, but dealing with somebody that's been through it themselves, and how does that affect you?
So in the beginning, it was very hard to share my story, and as a result of it, at certain points that I would bring out, it would bring me to cry or bring tears to my eyes, or it'd be very hard to bring out those words. Like I'll choke up, and it wasn't until I spoke with my sister, and she had identified something I already knew as far as telling my story, and she said, it's when you stand on your story, that's when you'll be able to tell your story without crying. And at first I was just like, how you gonna tell me? Like, it's my story. Right. But what she meant was when you become whole in that situation. Again, remember, I'm not saying that, a person is totally healed or anything like that, because I believe with this, you have to continue to peel back the layers, because especially it's trauma, right. And that's a whole nother subject. But when you become whole in your story, and you look at your story as a tool that, you're a tool where you're able to extend help or be able to awaken somebody else, then I believe that's when you're able to stand on your story. Also, when just being able to stand in the midst of adversity, and just knowing, and that's one thing about this book, which is so crazy. I say survival is victory, and victory meaning you can stand in the midst of adversity. It doesn't mean that it's going to stop, but it just means that you can stand in the midst of it. But when I grabbed hold of that I'm not I experienced my story, but I'm not my story. Right. When that clicked in my mind, then I was able to share my story from a perspective of a survivor, wow, and not a victim. Yes. And that's how, that's when it became easy for me to share my story. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't empathize or sympathize, sure, with those that are going or have gone through domestic violence. Right. It just means that, I understand the purpose of why I went through what I went through, right, and I'm acting on what I'm supposed to with the experience that I had. Wow. Wow, that's good. Yeah. That's amazing. Now, I also read somewhere that you have been given a nickname. What is it? Miss Motivation. Yeah, Miss Motivation. So it came from one of my friends back at home. He follows me on social media, and we met up one time, and he was just like, it's so crazy, how I've seen you in high school. And in high school I was real quiet and shy and timid. Yeah, very, very shy. So a lot of my classmates, they're like, man, Diona, you used to be shy, didn't say anything or whatnot. And a little part of me is still that way. But again, I understand the mission that I'm on. Right. So therefore, I have to be vocal. I have to be out there, and I have to be seen so that this purpose can go forward. But I lost my train of thought. That's okay. That's good though. So that's I've actually seen her speak, and she's quite motivational. So okay. I that's a good name for you. Oh yeah, Ms. Motivation. Yeah, that's a good name for you. Yeah, I love speaking to people, and I'm very passionate about it. So I don't want to get up there and just act like I'm spitting something. Right, right. I want a meaning to be behind the words, so I make sure. That's good. So you partnered up with House representatives, and I think I don't know if it was just Miss Bernadine Ken or other House representatives, but to collaborate on House Bill 1. Can you share a little bit about that? Yeah, so I actually teamed up with House Representative Amelia Sykes. That's right. Yeah, okay. Miss Amelia Sykes. And it was just weird, again, the way that it happened. I was sitting around with my sister, our same sister, and I was saying, like... We're going to make shout-outs to her sister. Yeah. I was like, I want to do something big, different. I want to do something big, that same whole spiel. And the next morning, she woke up and was like, look what I found. She texted me, like, look what I found in the Columbus Dispatch. I'm like, oh, okay. And it was an article on House Representative Sykes working on House Bill 1. And so I called up her office and I said, I want to meet with her and I want to know what it is that I can do to help. And so immediately they were like, yeah, she wants you to come up. So I sat down with her, and that was a wonderful experience. She's like she's so down to earth. She's real, and her passion for victims of domestic violence, and I think anybody that's in a state of being disenfranchised, like she really goes to bat for people, and that's what I like about her. But she told me, this is what I need you to do, and I said I'm game for it. And it took it took a lot of courage and a lot of strength, because here I am, being exposed in the public about what I experienced. And this wasn't just me going into churches or schools and talking to kids or women about what I've experienced. I'm going before policymakers and saying, this is what I've experienced. And it was a different feeling, but it was a good feeling, because, I felt that even though I was exposing, I was also helping in my exposure.
Absolutely. Wow, that's good. That's real good. And you just, you have no idea how many lives you've touched and affected.
Yeah, I'm grateful.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So you also, I got to give props to her, because she has appeared in the past on CNN, TBN, Creflo Dollar's It's Your World. She's been on spoke on the Tom Joyner Morning Show, and she's been on local news. I've seen her a few times, and also she's been in the magazine Mademoiselle and The Voice. Yes. That's huge.
Yes, and I always give honor to God. I always give honor to Him, because I already know that without Him, no breath, life, being existing. But I also have to give props to Carlos Scott. I told him what I experienced, and he was able to put me before these people. Wow. So he's a mover and a shaker. Wow. He was just like, I get you to connect, you act and do what you're supposed to do. Well, not so much act, but you say what you're supposed to say. You tell them what you experienced. Right. Because again, he felt that my story was something that needed to be heard. Absolutely. And still does need to be heard. It moved him. It moved him what I had experienced, and he was like, "Yeah, you got something."
That's cool. And a male to have it.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And I can't even say how many times he just advocates for me, and on so many levels. He'll, hey, did you hear this? That's not right. Giving me ideas like you should do this and you should do that. So he's definitely a big advocate when it comes to domestic violence. So I appreciate him.
That's good. Shout out to Carlos Scott too.
Yes.
Now you're a social worker for Franklin County?
Yes. Okay. I work for Children's Services.
Very good.
Yeah, I do. And what's so weird is I come in contact with families that experience domestic violence. Wow. So when I first started this job, it was hard for me. Because in that I've never actually been hands-on with somebody that experienced domestic violence like that, or like I did, and so I had to kind of step away, get some counseling. So there's nothing wrong with counseling. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with sitting down on somebody's big white couch and just pouring out your feelings and your emotions, so that they can help you put those feelings and emotions back into your mind, in a healthy way. But so working with these families, I advocate. I love I advocate for my families, and I try to do what I know is best from my own experience and then my training in domestic violence to ensure that not only that the best interest of the child is met, but also that the best interest of the family and that victim.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a challenging role too.
It's very hard.
I'm sure.
Very, very
I'm sure it takes a special person. You have a gold-plated parking lot in heaven for you. I tell you.
Let me drive on it.
Right. As she dances away up there, right? Now you are an amazing. Your faith is real strong, and that's one of the reasons why I brought you on this in the live as well. But you have an amazing ministry. Mm-hmm. Would you ever consider becoming a pastor?
Oh no! It's too much. It's way too much. I do I do a lot in my church, and I do a lot. Right. And I'm not even nowhere near being a pastor. but it's too much. It's just too much. It's a lot. It's a lot on your shoulders. I'm good with just being the assistant.
Okay.
It's a lot. It's a whole lot that goes into that. You know, working closely with my leader. I see them just go through a lot, and you know, and I feel like a person is really called to be. And if you ain't called, then you need to sit it on down because you playing. You're playing, and you can't play when it comes to God's people. So you know, no, that's not my calling. My calling is just going out speaking to people.
Right.
That's it. It's a period.
I understand. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
So let's chat about a little bit about a popular subject that's going on in the news right now. That's R. Kelly.
Yes.
The R. Kelly situation. So he has a lot of no, let's backtrack. The big conversation is basically he said, she said. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people that follow R. Kelly, you know, we listen to the music. I jammed to his music. A lot of us did when we were younger. And we never really actually paid attention to a lot of the songs that they were saying either. As an adult, you think about it like, oh, he was talking about something.
Exactly.
But it's hard because you have people on both spectrums, because people are like, why are people talking about it now? A lot of people say that. Why do people bring up stuff now, so late in the game? And then there's situations that he has a couple women living with them now, of parents, and actually that are, I'm trying to get her out of the home. And it's just, it's crazy. It's crazy, especially of us that have kids. Because, you know, we were listening to him when we were younger, but now that we have kids and we see the situation, it's like, oh my gosh, we don't want anybody to go through it, let alone our own children. How do you feel about did you see not the Gayle King interview, but the other one?
Yeah. The Surviving R. Kelly.
Right.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on that?
So basically my thoughts with Surviving R. Kelly is, you know, I can't say this man did or he didn't do it because, you know, I wasn't there. Right. I wasn't in the bed, you know, I wasn't at the concert. Right. So who am I to convict him and don't even know? Right. So I can't speak to that. But what I feel like I can speak to from a survivor's perspective is, you know, where my thing is the children at the end of the day. Yeah. The if this happened, right? The victims,
alleged,
if the victims, and not only that, but where are those that are supposed to be protecting them? Right. That's where my mind goes to. Where are those that are supposed to be protecting, you know, the children that that supposedly are victims, right? You know, and if that's really all I can say. Right. Where are those? Where are the protectors? Right. Because if we had, to me, you shouldn't have a lot to say about R. Kelly if you're not playing a role in trying to protect. I'm not even talking about children right now. You know, if you're not playing a role of trying to protect the children, you know, and I say that to social workers, I say that to teachers, I say that to parents. If you're not positioning yourself to protect these children, because these children are vulnerable, their mind cannot process things the way that an adult does. So if I see R. Kelly, and I know R. Kelly is a star, at my age of being 14, 15 or whatnot, all I know is I want to be with R. Kelly, right. and that's all I'm going to desire. I'm not thinking about, oh, he's older, or what the possibility of him raping me, or this. I'm not thinking like that. I'm just desiring somebody that has this fame. Yeah. And so you can't blame the child. Right. But you can say, where are those that are supposed to be protecting them? And if you're not positioning yourself again in the stance of protecting those that are vulnerable, then like I said before, you can sit on the couch. Right. Sit on the couch.
Absolutely. I agree.
Sit on the couch. Yeah. You know, please sit on the couch. And two, I feel sorry, you know, because they're making to me, it's kind of like, you know, it's almost like they're making this a big game or something like that. And so to me, what this does is it damages the voice of a victim, of a true victim. So if I am experiencing being human trafficked or domestic violence, are you really going to believe me? Because now social media has gone so far with it. The media period has gone so far with, you know, this thing with R. Kelly or, you know, Bill Cosby or just any, you know, anyone in that type of situation. The social media just hypes it up. Soon you're gonna hype it up so much that nobody's gonna care about it because we become desensitized to see victim here, victim there, victim here, victim there, victim there. If we keep getting that, then why even raise my emotions to even feel sympathy or empathy for this person when I keep seeing this stuff over and over and over again? Because right now all I know is I'm sick of it.
Right.
I don't want to hear it anymore.
Right.
So to me, it just damages the voice of the victim, and that's sad.
Damages the voice of the victim. No, that's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Yep.
My goodness. Well, I hope for the best for all of it, but I don't wish anybody, causing ill will to somebody that hasn't done what they said. However, it's just if he has, then he needs to be
right. If this has happened, then yes, he should be held accountable. Again, as I've said, and some of my friends have said, if he's held accountable for what he's done, if he's done this thing, then guess what? Let's hold everybody accountable.
Correct.
Race, gender, sex, whatever.
Yes.
Let's hold everybody accountable.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's good. So, Diona, what is your next event?
Oh, my next event. Well, y'all know I love the kids. I have a special place in my heart for the kiddos. So, I have a girls empowerment event. Actually, this will be our third one. So that will be at the Whitehall Library. Okay. March the 30th on a Saturday. I believe it's from 12 to 2.
And you could probably find it on Eventbrite or Facebook or something like that.
Yeah, you sure can. So the topic is mental illness.
Oh, wow.
So we have the National Alliance on Mental Illness that'll come in, and they will share a piece with the girls on becoming aware of mental health issues, so that if they feel like something's not really clicking mentally, then hopefully through this event, they'll be able to identify that and then get the help they need. But we also have primary care solutions that's going to be on site, enrolling the girls if their parents feel like they may need a mental health assessment.
Oh, wow.
So I think it's big right now, especially with our kids.
I know. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Anything else happening? Are you writing another book?
Yeah, I got a baby in the oven. It's a baby in the oven.
That's
good.
good.
So I want to say Miss K. Wilson will be there too. She's a dynamic speaker. Yeah. She's a big advocate for young people as well. So she will be there, and I'm happy to have her there. But anyway, I got a baby in the oven. That's good. So we'll see.
Absolutely. So where can people reach you on social media?
They can reach me at Diona, Diona, middle initial L, last name Clark, Clark. If they're interested in the book, they can go to my website, www.livout, the number 4, the letter U.org. Oh, that's right. Jeez.
Are you on Instagram and Twitter or anything?
I'm on Instagram under Diona Live Out Loud. Okay. Twitter, same Diona Live Out Loud. So all social media, they can link with me or get to the website or whatnot. So
absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I'm telling you, you are just one of those dope influencers that I'm very proud to know.
Thank you so much.
And I wanted everybody else to get to know you too. So
thank you so much. Thank you. It's been a blessing. It's always good to connect with you. Always good to see your face. Always good to hear from you and talk to you. So you're a dope chick too.
Oh, thank you. See, there we go. All right, 2 chicks are getting out of here. So have a good evening. Have a great and productive week.